Welcome to The Local Lens, the podcast that brings the South Dakota community together. I'm Jamie Forrest, your host and your local realtor, here to showcase what makes our region a fantastic place to live. Join me as we explore vibrant local culture, highlight community events, and provide valuable insights for homeowners. Whether you're a current resident or considering a move, The Local Lens is your go-to source for everything in South Dakota. Let's discover, connect, and thrive together. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Again, I'm Jamie Forrest with The Local Lens. I'm so excited for my guest today. We have Skyler from Climate Control right here in Aberdeen. Climate Control is a locally owned family business that serves both Northeast South Dakota and Southeast North Dakota, tongue twister for you, for about the past 25 years. So they pride themselves in offering the highest quality service, and they want to exceed your expectations every time. So welcome to The Local Lens, Skyler.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Can you tell everybody out there, what is your title at Climate Control first? What do you do?
Well, my title is Comfort Advisor. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
No. So essentially, it's equipment sales, right? But basically, I go to homes and I help people find out what issues they may be facing in their home. And I help them figure out what equipment would be best suited for them for their comfort. It kind of sounds like a mattress person, but it's comfort in terms of our HVAC system is huge when it comes to feeling cool, feeling warm, air quality, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I do. So I help people find solutions for anything they may be experiencing in their home.
Okay. And is your consultation free when you come into the home? Do you come out for free, or is there a
Yes.
charge?
No, absolutely. Absolutely free. And it's usually takes about an hour to 2 hours just to have a conversation with individuals or spouses or whoever I'm chatting with. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, good to know. You guys take advantage of that. I mean, why not? See what they might have to offer there for
Yep.
no obligation consult. So, okay,
Right.
well, let's dive into climate control itself. Can you tell us just
Okay.
a little bit about climate control, who you are, what you do, what services you have to offer?
Ooh, yeah. Where do I start? We do a lot. Well, like you said before, we've been around for almost 25 years now. We primarily do HVAC systems, furnaces, air conditioners, but we also do a lot of like air quality help. We do some mold testing. We do radon mitigation. We do a little bit of plumbing work like water heaters and all that stuff. So we do dust control for homes out there that are in the rural communities. So dust control, we do some ice melt. There's a lot that we do.
And I think I saw you guys do fireplaces now. Do you have some
Yeah.
fireplaces or things
Yep.
like that? Because that was something that I know one of the main people is no longer in town that does some of those gas fireplaces. And I thought I saw that when I was out at your facility for the ribbon cutting, that maybe that was something you
Yes.
offer. So people did know
Yep.
that there is a company in town that does help with that too. So awesome.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about maybe what sets you apart from your competitors as far as
You
the
know,
service goes?
well, it's funny you ask because what's crazy is we ask this with our clients too. And a lot of times, as simple as it sounds, their biggest enjoyment out of what we offer is, being there and answering our phones and being available. I mean, we always have somebody answering a phone call. So it's not like you're going to call in if your AC is out and you're really hot. It's not like you're going to call in and it's going to go to voicemail and you're going to wait a day, 2 days. Who knows? Somebody's going to answer and we're going to communicate fully with people, what to expect. Like, hey, we're going to try to get somebody out there as soon as possible. And it's a simple deal, right? But it's huge. When we answer the phone, it's massive.
I can attest to that as a realtor here in town. Like if I need something done urgently, I know I can give you a call, and usually somebody is out there that day to check it out for me. Because sometimes I have vacant homes or emergency things that I need somebody out there. And so far, you guys have been on top of it when I have called you and had you come out there. So I can attest to
Yeah.
that customer service, quick customer service, and being on top of it, so there's always somebody that gets back to you. I agree with that. So you guys do well with that. Can you highlight a little bit or tell people, you guys, Climate Control has 100% satisfaction guarantee. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what that means when people use your service?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, right? It almost seems kind of like a little cliche, right? A lot of companies out there, they'll say 100% satisfaction guarantee. It sounds really nice. At Climate Control, the biggest thing is we are constantly striving to give a 5-star service, okay? Meeting people's expectations and figuring out what their expectations are. And so, with saying that, what I'm really saying is we stand behind our work. We do a great job. We send all of our professionals go to trainings and get trained by highly qualified companies to do a great job. And basically, we're sitting there saying, we're going to do this and we're going to get it right for you. Another thing that we do that I think it's very unique and it isn't offered anywhere else, as far as I'm concerned, is we actually do 100% satisfaction guaranteed on paper. So I'll actually have a document that is backed by our manufacturer, and I'll sign it. A client will sign it. It's basically saying, hey, we are standing behind our work. And it's in writing. Again, I signed it. You signed it.
Awesome. I love that. So as a realtor, one of the big things that we can see when we go into houses is maybe people have deferred maintenance on things. They weren't keeping things clean, keeping up with things. So you guys have something pretty cool out there. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of annual maintenance? And then you guys have an agreement that you can provide some of those annual maintenance things on a regular scheduled basis, right? Okay.
Absolutely. So I'll lay this out first. Annual maintenance on your HVAC system is very, very important. And it's not just me saying that, it's manufacturers. Manufacturers recommend annual maintenance on your equipment. So much so that in some cases, warranty can be void if it's not documented that annual maintenance was done. And the biggest thing that I like to relate it to, because everybody can understand vehicles, right? And so I like to relate to vehicles. We drive our vehicles every day and we know we need to do oil changes. We know we need to do tire rotations, filter changes. We need to keep it clean. The issue is we're not usually thinking of HVAC. It's not usually top of mind until something happens to it, right? Because we're not going down showing our friends what our HVAC system looks like. I might do that,
Right.
but most people don't, right? And they don't know what's going on behind there. It's really important to keep things cleaned. It's more than just changing a filter, but we do that as well for people. But basically, we offer a maintenance agreement where you can have us out once or twice a year, or more. I mean, depending on the equipment, I guess it's almost different for everybody. But just for our listeners' sake, we'll just talk about air conditioners and furnaces, right? We offer maintenance agreements where we can either do just your furnace and we can service that once a year, or we can service your furnace and your AC. And so we would come out in the summertime to service your AC, and we'd come out in the wintertime to service your furnace. And with that, we document everything that we do. So if at some point a part fails or something, we have to send that into warranty. We can tell the manufacturer, listen, like, we documented this. Like, this is not something that wasn't taken care of. We have it. We did it for the client. And so it's just kind of having your back, basically. It's just making sure that we're getting the longest lifespan possible for anybody who puts in furnaces, ACs, or they have them right now and they're trying to keep them going. You don't have to. I mean, anybody can call and say, hey, I want to start on a plan, and we can start doing it, you know.
Even if you
The
didn't
issue,
install it for them, you could
yeah.
start servicing it. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we could definitely start servicing it
Yeah.
and do maintenance on it. But yeah, it's a huge deal. It
Yeah.
really is.
So I have pets, like I have dogs. Do you notice that we should be doing these things more regularly in homes with pets, or would it be standard, the same as somebody without a pet in their home?
You know, the biggest thing with pets is the hair, right?
Mhm.
Essentially, your home, if you have a traditional furnace and AC, is air cycling through your home. And so you have a filter that's catching any air that's coming around, right? A lot of times dandruff, fur, hair from pets will come through and they'll get stuck in your furnace filter, right? So it's really good to keep an eye on that furnace filter, just a quick look and be like, oh, hey, like, yeah, there's a lot of
Some
fur in
air.
here. We need to
Mhm.
swap this out. So the issue with that, you know, we come once a year. And so if all of a sudden we come and there's never a filter changed, you know, well, there's a bad issue there, right? But
Mhm.
we have options to help out with that too. We got bigger filters that we can put in. So realistically, you only need to change them once or twice a year. Whereas those 1 inch filters that a lot of people have, they need to be changed monthly. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 So it's
Awesome.
just good to keep an eye on that.
Okay. So when you come in and install a furnace, you guys offer a lifetime warranty on that furnace?
Yeah.
Like what kind of lifetime is that? And is that as long as they're getting these maintenance things, or tell us a little bit about that furnace
Yeah. Yeah.
warranty?
This is exciting. I love this one. So we are the home of the lifetime furnace warranty. And that says several things, right? First is that we're really standing behind the work we do. I mean, people give warranties because they have an anticipation of when that is probably going to, you know, they can't promise anymore that it's going to keep going, right?
Right.
And so when we put on a furnace or put in a furnace, we say here, like, if we can do maintenance at least on the furnace once a year for you, as long as you have that plan in place, we're standing behind our work and saying, you know what, 25 years, we're going to get 25 years for you, right? So it's 25 years parts and labor warranty
Oh, wow.
as long as we're servicing it annually. And that's a huge, huge deal, you
Yeah.
know, because the average lifespan is 15 to 20 years. So we're
That's what
already
I was gonna
saying, hey,
ask next. Yeah, what's the average
we're,
lifespan of some of these
yeah,
major things in our home? So 15 to 20, most
yeah,
people's friends. Okay. And you're given a
yep,
25-year warranty. That's huge. Yeah.
25. And some people ask, you know, they're like, well, lifetime, that's 25 years. Yeah, it's a furnace lifetime. Like
Furnace
my
life.
lifetime might be 75, 80, hopefully 100
Right.
years. You know, who knows? A furnace lifetime would be 25 years.
Okay.
And another sweet thing about that, and you do appreciate this with the work you do, it's transferable.
My next question for you, I was just
Oh
thinking
man,
that. I'm like, is this, because that will be something that will be a huge sale, that if I know that warranty is transferable, that's
yeah,
definitely going to get put in there so people know, because that's huge when they know
huge.
they have 20 years left on their furnace and a warranty, that's
Right.
huge.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
You're buying a house that a furnace was installed 15 years ago, and there's still 10 years of
Mhm.
warranty on that. Wow.
That's huge.
Wow. Right.
I love it. Love that. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome feature. So let's shift gears just a little bit. We touched on it just briefly, but you guys also have some air quality options that you offer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll actually talk about the most common ones here, especially in South Dakota, being where we're at. One big one is humidity control. A lot of us, we like to go out, we get those humidifiers that we can buy from the store and plug those in. And, you know, the issue with those is they don't cover much ground and they usually produce a substance that floats through the air, gets caught in the filter, and it starts putting a little bit of pressure on your furnace, right? Because that stuff is getting caught and clogging up your filter. So one thing in the wintertime, we deal with dry air, right?
Mhm.
And I deal with dry air. Once in a while, I've gotten like bloody noses. That's a common symptom
Mhm.
of dry air, headaches, just not feeling very good, you know,
Mhm.
and humidity has a lot to do with that. And so basically, the biggest one would be whole home humidifiers that we put on as well as a furnace. So if you want to do a furnace and get a whole home humidifier on, we can do that. And you're humidifying your entire home.
Nice.
And it's not, there's minimal maintenance to it. Whereas those little ones you plug in, you have to clean them with hot water, which I can't stand. You've got to change filters depending on what you have. You've got white vinegar that they say you're supposed to use, and you have to, otherwise mold's growing in there. So humidity is huge. And then even in the summertime, it's going to get a little bit more humid most of the time. And what happens when there's too much moisture in your house is you get water that can start creeping on your walls. And what does water do? It starts causing mold, all that type of stuff, which mold starts, the particles, bacteria float around the air. And so that's a big thing too. So dehumidifiers that are whole home dehumidifiers and whole home humidifiers is the big one that we do. And then also air purification. And that is probably one of my favorite things we do is, and I can appreciate it because I have kids that go to daycare and they get stuffy noses and they get sick. Some allergies are coming in, and I'm like, oh, are we going to go to the hospital again? Okay, third time this week. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But realistically, that's what it is. And so air purification, we have a whole home air purifier that goes on the furnace as well. And what that does is it exactly what I just said, whole home air purifies.
Awesome.
I didn't
know that existed. Yeah. Cool.
And they did a study on it, and they tested like multiple viruses, like the COVID virus. They tested the bacteria that is linked to that. And when they tested it, they found that this deal that, and what we put on is called the Remy Halo LED. That's our most common one that we put on. But that actually killed that bacteria floating around. About 99% of it was just killed off within an hour. Wow. We could print off the stats of it. It's insane. And I had a gentleman a couple months ago that he was having some breathing problems, some allergies coming up. And I told him, this is a solution for you. And he decided to take that to his doctor. And he told me afterwards, he's like, as soon as I brought it up to my doctor said, yes. So it just proves that you got a lot of people backing that, so.
Absolutely. Okay. We're getting close to wrapping up here. You guys have some other advanced technologies. Is there anything else you want to highlight to the people watching here today?
Yeah. A big one that's coming out that's getting more and more popular is like connected thermostats. So that's a big deal. A lot of times when people are traveling quite a bit, maybe they're traveling for work or maybe they're snowbirds and they go down to Arizona or something for the winter time, they can still monitor what's going on in their home in terms of their AC furnace, what the temp's set at. And a nice thing about it is that if something is going wrong, it can alert them while they're down there and say, hey, something's not going right. And also that we can be alerted as well. So maybe they don't get the message, but we get it. We can reach out and say, hey, this is what we found. This is an issue. Is there a way we can get in and see what we can do? Right. So that's a big one. Also, water leak detection is huge. And we've got a special water leak detection system that basically it can connect to your phone as well. And if you're at work or out somewhere, you can get an alert on your phone that says, hey, there's some water in your basement, right? And it can save you big time from coming home to a mess, because the minute that system senses water, it'll let you know. You can book it over, have us go over and check it out, whatever is the best option. And I can relate to that. I got some sewer backup once in a while in my house, which is very unfortunate, but I've been saved big time from having a huge mess in my house just by catching it really, really quick. So that's a good one. And going back to the thermostats, there's one thermostat that I kind of want to talk about. It's probably my favorite thermostat, but it's called the Prestige. And it's a thermostat that controls everything. So humidity, all that stuff, as long, also with your, let me back up a little bit. So the Prestige controls basically everything that's connected to your HVAC system. And one really cool thing about it is you can change the color of it. So it's just not such a little boring white thermostat. You can actually change the color to match your decor, which is
Oh,
kind of
wow.
crazy. Or your favorite football team. Like, let's say it's football season and you want to change it to purple and yellow for the Vikings, so that's pretty cool. And it's also Wi-Fi too, so you can connect, but that's my favorite. It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much for being here. So we're going to wrap it up, and just, can you let everybody know, like, if any of these things are intriguing them or they want you to come out and do a free consult in their home, how can they get in touch with you or Climate Control? What's the best way to reach you guys?
Yeah, I would just say give us a call. Can I give the phone number?
Yeah, absolutely. Give your phone number, email,
So-
whatever you guys want, however they can connect with you.
Yeah, giving us a call, 605-225-9822, and just say, hey, I'm interested in exploring some options for replacement. I want to know what is going to work best for me and my home. No two households are the same. It's kind of crazy, but there's no two households the same. Comfort is different for everybody. And so it just takes somebody to come over, like myself, to explore and see what we can do and actually work together. That's what I like to say too, is when I'm working with somebody, we're a team. We're figuring out something together. And it's not me coming and saying, this is what you need, this is what you need. I would never do that. I would only give the options that I believe both of us are aligned with and say, hey, I think this would be a great option for you. But I also give several options too. I could come up with tons of options. I could get, so it's, biggest thing is being a team.
Awesome. Again, thank you, Skyler, with Climate Control for being here today on the Local Lens.
Yeah, you bet.
And maybe we'll have you back again and we'll dive a little deeper into some of these things sometime. So
yeah,
right,
I'd love
see you
that.
next
That'd be
time,
awesome,
guys. Yeah.
All right, let's see ya. Thanks.
That wraps up this episode of The Local Lens. Thanks for tuning in and exploring South Dakota with me. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review to help us reach more listeners. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and more community highlights. Until next time, keep discovering, connecting, and thriving.